What if I told you that the world, was built on just a handful of moments? Single seconds where everything changed. Today, we're counting down the top 10 firsts that completely rewired human history, from capturing time itself to seeing the unseen. Stick around because number one is more recent than you think, and it's a mind. Coming in at number 10 is the first photograph taken in 1826. Before this, memories were just stories. They faded, they got distorted, and ultimately, they died with the people who held them. Think about that. Your great-great-grandparents' faces, lo si forevia. But then, Joseph Nicephore Niepce captured a grainy view from his window, and for the first time, a moment was frozen. Time could be stored. This wasn't just about family albums. It was the birth of visual evidence, of photojournalism, of the ID card in your wallet, and the entire media landscape we live in today. It taught us that a moment doesn't have to be fleeting. It can be permanent. Achinambernini, we have the first vaccine in 1796. Back then, disease wasn't just a risk. It was considered fate. Plagues and sicknesses like smallpox were seen as inevitable, a terrifying lottery of life and death. But then Edward Jenner had a radical idea. He noticed that milkmaids who got cowpox, a milder disease, didn't get smallpox. So he took material from a cowpox sore and inoculated a young boy. It worked. This single act was monumental. It proved that we didn't have to just endure and fear disease. We could prevent it. This was a launchpad for public health, the very concept that a community could proactively protect itself. Every shot you've ever gotten traces its lineage back to this moment when humanity decided to fight back against the inevitable. Flying into our number 8 spot is the first powered flight in 1903. For all of human history, we were bound to the earth. The sky was for birds and gods. Travel was a slow, arduous crawl across land or sea. Distances were immense barriers. Then, on a windy beach in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, Orville and Wilbur Wright managed to stay airborne for just 12 seconds. 12 seconds! It doesn't sound like much, but in that flicker of time, they broke our chains to the ground. They proved that mechanical flight was possible, that 120-foot hop was the first step in a journey that would shrink the globe. Turning a treacherous months-long ocean voyage into a day's journey by plane, the sky was no longer the limit. It was the new highway. But a single stunt isn't a system. That brings us to number 7, the first commercial airline, which launched in 1914. After the Wright brothers, flying was mostly for daredevils and military scouts. It wasn't for ordinary people. Then, the St. Petersburg-Tampa airboat line started a service across Tampa Bay. The price was $5 for a 23-Minucci flight. This was more than just a trip. It was the invention of an industry. Suddenly, you had scheduled flights, tickets, and a route. It was the birth of the air economy. It created the blueprint for the timetables, hubs, and logistical networks that now connect every corner of the planet. That humble 23-minute hop is the direct ancestor of every business trip, vacation, and air-freighted package that crisscrosses the sky today. At number 6, we have a sound that changed the world. The first mobile phone call in 1973. Before this, your voice was literally tied to a place. Phones were physically connected to a wall. If you wanted to talk to someone, you had to call a location a house, and off of Sand Hope, they were there. Then, a Motorola engineer named Martin Cooper stood on a New York City street, holding a brick-like device, and made a call to his rival at Bell Labs. The cord was cut. This was a profound shift. For the first time, a phone number was attached to a person, not a place. It was the dawn of true mobility, the idea that we could be connected anywhere, anytime. Every text, every app, notification, every call you make while walking down the street started with that one revolutionary call. Just a couple of years earlier, another revolution was happening quietly. Actually, number 5, the first email was sent in 1971. Mail was physical. It was paper in an envelope, moved by trucks, planes, and people. It was slow. Communication happened at the speed of transportation. Then, a programmer named Ray Tomlinson needed a way to send messages between computers on the ARPANET. He chose that symbol to separate the user's name from the machine's name simply because it wasn't a common character. In that moment, he invented something new, instant written digital communication. It wasn't just faster mail. It was a new way for humans to interact with machines and with each other. Email laid the foundation for virtually all the digital messaging we rely on, from DMS to work chats. Actually, number 4, we leave the planet entirely with the first human in space in 1961 for millennia. The sky was a ceiling, a beautiful but unreachable dome above us. We looked at the stars and wondered, but we were stuck here. Then, on April 12, 1961, Yuri Gagarin was strapped into his Vostok capsule and launched into orbit. For 108 minutes, he circled the Earth, seeing a view no human had ever seen before. He saw the curve of the planet, the thin blue line of our atmosphere. His journey proved that Earth was not our limit. We could leave. This single orbit ignited the space race and fueled the technological explosion. The GPS in your phone, satellite, TV, weather forecasting, and even memory foam all have roots in the technology developed to send that first human beyond the sky. Now we're getting into the deep level infrastructure of our world. At number 3 is the first internet message sent in 1969. Before this, computer networks were centralized. If the main hub went down, the whole system could collapse. The ARPANET project was designed to solve this by creating a decentralized network where information could find its way around any damage. The first test was to send the word login from a computer at UCLA to one at Stanford. They typed L. Stanford got it. They typed O. Stanford got it. They typed G, and the system crashed. The first message ever sent on the internet was low, as in, lo and behold. But in that failure was a spectacular success. The packet switching concept worked. This resilient, decentralized structure is the very DNA of the internet, the reason it is so robust and has been able to scale to connect the entire globe. From the internet's DNA to its face. Actually, number 2, we have the first website, which went live in 1991. The internet existed before this, but it was a playground for engineers and academics. It was a network of connected computers, but there was no place to go. It was all links, no locations. Then Tim Berners-Lee created the World Wide Web. He created the first web browser and the first web server. The first web page was a simple explanation of what the World Wide Web was, how you could create your own pages, and how to search for information. This was the light bulb moment. It gave the internet a user-friendly interface. It created the concept of web addresses and pages. It turned the network from a complex tool into a public space, giving everyone the potential to be a publisher. Every site you visit started here. And now for our number 1 first that changed everything. It happened in our lifetime in 2019. It's the first photograph of a black hole. For over a century, black holes were purely theoretical monsters of gravity predicted by Einstein's equations. We had mountains of indirect evidence, but we had never seen *1. They were, by definition, unseeable, because not even light can escape them. So how do you photograph the absence of light? An international team of scientists came up with an audacious solution. The Event Horizon Telescope. They synchronized radio telescopes across the entire planet, effectively creating a virtual telescope the size of Earth. After years of work, they processed petabytes of data and produced an image, a blurry, fiery, orange donut. But it was real. It was a shadow of a supermassive black hole 55 million light years away. This wasn't just about confirming a theory. It was about humanity achieving the impossible, seeing something we were told could never be seen. It represents a new era of discovery, proving that with enough ingenuity and collaboration, we can even capture a picture of infinity. From freezing a moment in time to picturing a hole in space-time, these 10 firsts are the tent poles of our modern world. They show us that history isn't just a slow, steady march. It's punctuated by brilliant flashes of innovation that redefine what's possible. What do you think will be the next big first? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey through time, be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the moments that made us